Good evening, guys, and happy Sunday. Our latest will be about the Minister of Electricity. Let's follow up on that. Finally, newly appointed Minister of Electricity spoke with Eskom employees, and he said he has bigger plans for the entity and its employees. The first person to ever be appointed as Minister of Electricity on the whole planet. Please listen to him in the next slide and let us know of your take regarding what he said. And that's all we have for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again in the next update. Bye.
Thank you very much for making time. Of course, Unit 7 doesn't work. That mic is Unit 7, so it's out of operation. So I'll try and use my natural voice. I've come here to introduce myself to you. My name is Hosien Turamukopa. You can call me Kosi, Scooter, Dog, Prof. It really doesn't matter because I'm one of you. Yes. So the message we have come to convey is the following. The first thing is that the President has taken a decision to appoint a Minister of Electricity because of the harm and damage that load shedding is inflicting on the South African economy. Those of you who take time to read, you would have read that the South African Reserve Bank projects that load shedding can contract, or if you like, reduce GDP growth, quarterly GDP growth by 2.1%. And we know that the cost of unserviced energy is about 500 billion rands to the South African economy. We know that farmers can't irrigate their crops, and as a result, that places significant threat on food security, meaning that some farmers have to invest up to 100,000 rands to ensure that they buy generators, they put diesel, and they must recover that money from somewhere, and they recover it from me and you when we go to the retail shop to buy fresh produce, to buy whatever gets to be produced on the basis of the availability of energy or electricity. We know, for an example, that there are a number of companies that have closed, especially small and medium enterprises have closed because they can't afford the capital cost of buying a generator and the operational cost of buying diesel on a daily basis to support their operations. And when businesses close, means that people are out of employment. So we are one of the very few people in this country who are guaranteed employment now as load shedding is happening. We know that some doctors, because of the unavailability of energy and the fact that some of their uninterrupted power supplies, the UPS, they don't kick into motion when there is load shedding, they can't afford much needed emergency surgery. We know that there are learners, there are students who are learning remotely online. When there is load shedding, connectivity gets to be compromised, and therefore they can't do online learning. So what is the point I'm making? The point I'm making is that load shedding has got an adverse impact across all of our lives, including you, the employees of Eskom. When you get home, you get to be subjected to load shedding. So you know the difficulties of the situation that is confronting us. Then the President has taken a decision that because this thing has got a disproportionate impact on the quality of lives of our people and the ability of the country to grow and the economy to create jobs, he's putting in place a minister who will be exclusively responsible for electricity, and that minister must be in the office of the President because the President wants sight on a daily basis on what is it that this minister is doing to resolve load shedding. The second instrument that the President has introduced is to say that there's the Disaster Management Act, although that act is designed to address natural disasters, but the manifestations of the problems of load shedding can lead into serious and significant disasters because some of the reservoirs where we get our water, when you get home, you open your tap, the quality of the water and the pressure comes from the reservoirs but the reservoirs must be replenished almost on a daily basis. So you need to pump the water up. And if there's no load shedding, then the reservoirs run empty and people don't have water. You simply have to ask the people of Gauteng. That's the problem that rainwater is having in many other parts of the country. The wastewater treatment works. When you go to the bathroom, relieve yourself, it must go that way, solid waste, to be cleaned somewhere. For us to be able to clean that, you need power to clean and run the wastewater treatment works. So the president said, this is another form of disaster. And as a result, we are going to declare a state of disaster to make it possible for us to be agile, responsive, and accelerate our ability to respond to load shedding. So that's why you have a Minister of Electricity, and that's why you have this thing of the state of disaster. So why am I here? I'm here because the Minister of Electricity will not resolve load shedding. Load shedding will be resolved by the workers of Eskom. For as long as the workers are happy, for as long as the workers have the necessary tools of trade, for as long as the workers are given the opportunity, for as long as we are able to resolve the grievances of the workers, we have no doubt that workers are going to put their shoulder to the wheel and help us to resolve load shedding. And let me say the following to you. Base load is key to the resolution of load shedding. The issue of coal, the issue of gas, the issue of nuclear is indispensable to the resolution of the energy crisis in this country. Although there's going to be an exponential increase in terms of the share of PV, solar, wind, and battery storage, but base load is key to resolve this problem. And that is why it is important that when I started, I'm visiting the Eskom power stations, because it's power stations like Tutuka, power stations like Duva, Kriel, you mentioned them, Kusile, Midupi, and all of them, that are going to help us to resolve this problem. And we know that this problem will not resolve it, if you like, to sustain the economy. Load shedding will resolve it quicker. Of course, we'll come back with the timelines. I was sitting with management. They were saying to me, Minister, if you address the following, and one of the issues they raised with me was that the workers are not motivated because they were told that Tutuka is going out of operation by 2030, in the next 7 years. I said to management that we will take up this issue, because where I am as a Minister of Electricity, 7 years is not sufficient to ensure that going into the future we meet our needs. Even if we resolve load shedding tomorrow, you will still need this base load. We will still need to invest in plants like Tutuka. We'll still need to invest in plants like Kriel, because these are the plants that are going to help us to grow this economy going forward. And I said to management, we will take up this matter in cabinet. We will substantiate and give the reasons why we think that Tutuka must live beyond 2030, because we are helping us to resolve the energy situation in this country. As I speak to you now, 2 of the worst performing power stations in the fleet of those that give us base load, the coal plus the nuclear, the 2 worst performing, the worst performing one is Kusile. You know, of the 6 units, 5 are out. So it's operating at an energy availability factor of 19%. The second worst performing plant is Tutuka. And I said that at 25%. That's where we are. But I know that you are not people of 25%. I know that you can help us to address this situation. And I was saying to them, to the management, help me to fight the fight by improving the energy availability factor. I will fight the fight for the case for Tutuka beyond 2030. We must show everyone that we are not amongst the worst performers. That in fact, if we are given the necessary support, we invest in the cooling towers, we resolve some of, if you like, modernize or refurbish some of the older units, Unit 1, 2, and 3, in the same manner we did with 4, 5, and 6. we can improve the energy availability factor. But money must be invested there. And I came here to say to you, I am with you. I am on your side. Management has communicated. We have agreed with organized labor that I am coming back because we gave management close to 3 hours of discussions. I introduced myself to labor. There's a lot of things they want to share with me. And we have agreed in the same manner that we did in the other 4 power stations that I visited so far, that I'm coming back to provide an opportunity to labor to share with me what are those challenges that we are seeing as labor, as workers. But most importantly, you must share with me. You know this plant better than I do. I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm a civil engineer. We build structures. I don't know how these systems work. But it's you who have studied these things. It's you who understand this operation. Some of you have been here for 30 years, 25 years, 15 years. You know these things better than anyone else. It is you who are going to tell me how you think we can resolve these challenges. I'm not coming here with answers. If you thought I'm standing here, I'm saying we're going to do 1, 2, 3, it will be very arrogant of me. It is you who are going to say, Minister, if we were to be in your position, here in Tutuka, we will do the following. Management has shared with me very important, if you like, thoroughgoing interventions. And I said with them, let me also listen to the perspective of labor, because we are joined at the hip. We are a team. If Tutuka collapses, all of us are out of employment. If load shedding continues and we can't make a case why a station that is performing at 25% energy availability factor must be sustained, then it's the end of us. But it is important that we are able to illustrate to the country and the world that South Africa knows how to resolve problems. And it is the people of this country, is the committed, patriotic, skilled and competent people of Eskom who are going to help us to resolve this problem. I always say, when I get to be asked a question, even now when I was talking to the journalist, even tomorrow when I'm engaging with whoever, they say Eskom corruption, corruption. I tell them, I will not go to a power station and accuse people of corruption that I know nothing of. I will engage with the workers. They will tell me where these challenges are. Where we pick up leakages and acts of corruption, those things will come out of the wash and the law enforcement agencies will deal with that. But the majority of people who work at Eskom, they are honest South Africans, patriotic. They want to resolve this problem. I keep on making this example, that when I studied civil engineering at university, we used to envy and admire students who were funded by Eskom, because we knew that they've got, if you like, a healthy balance. Every month they get serious, if you like, allowance. But we also knew that when they graduated, they were going to work for one of the best companies, not in the country, but in the world. They will work proudly. You could tell an engineering student who's funded by Eskom, especially end of the month, you see the work. You need to visit their rooms, you will see this. So they wore proudly Eskom regalia. They wore proudly Eskom t-shirts and caps. But today, very few of you can identify yourself with this thing called Eskom, because we are thought of being corrupt, because we are thought of being incompetent, because they think that we are in position because of nepotism. They forget that we have studied. They forget that we have the experience. They forget that we are competent. The only way of making sure that Eskom rises from these ashes is through the improvement of the energy availability factor, and we resolve load shedding. For us to walk proudly amongst communities, say to our children, grandchildren that I work for Eskom, that we are not employees responsible for switching off the lights, but we are responsible for keeping the lights on. I mean, I was giving them example the other day. After we were confirmed, sewn in, we appeared on TV 1 or 2 times. The following, on Thursday, I was called main lane, so I'll explain it, I'll come back to English. Because English here to follow it. So you got main lane, like that area. So now no more mama. Hey, come level 10 years. Have it, mama. I shouldn't have allowed the mama one. But what is the point I'm making? Oh, let me try and translate it. I'm saying I was doing my own walkabout and in one of the major shopping centers here, and I saw this child with her mom, or someone who appeared to be her mom. She looked to be of 10 years of age. Then she said to her mom very loudly, Mommy, this is the chap who's responsible for load shedding. And I said, no, my girl, I'm not responsible for load shedding. The president has appointed me to switch the light off. And then you could see the smile on her face. Some of your colleagues, they get to be harassed, attacked, injured, and killed when they go to the townships. Because people don't trust this thing called Eskom. We are not proud to work here, some of us. I'm told that you employ people today, the next thing they leave. Because they see better opportunities somewhere. Because also Eskom has not taken care of us. So it is important that for us to respond to this challenge, we must have a workforce that is sufficiently happy, to the extent that we can. That these grievances that you raise, we get to attend to them, and then you are going to commit yourself to the resolution of this problem. So I'm here, workers of Eskom. I'm not the other side. I'm not some minister far away. You'll see myself almost every 2 weeks. I'll be at the power station. I'll be here with the management, with employees, meeting certain units, asking the question, what is it that you need from the minister to help you to resolve this problem? Of course, the Eskom board is here. They're going to perform fiduciary responsibility. They are overall in charge of Eskom strategy. The Eskom management head office is there. They'll come and provide guidance. But I have a duty. I'm not here to fold my arms and watch the suffering of people of Eskom. Watch the suffering of the people of South Africa. We are here to resolve this problem, and I'm going to resolve it with you. Why am I going to resolve it with you? Because you know better than I do. You have been here, you have grown up in this entity called Eskom, multiple power stations. Some of you have been here for an inordinate amount of years. You know the solutions to this problem. Let us make our children proud, our parents proud, and future generations by ensuring that Eskom becomes the envy of this country. We restore it to its previous glory, and the only way of doing that is if we work together. I'll respect you, I'll respect the workers, because it's the mutual respect that is going to help us to resolve this problem. I have no answers, you have the answers. I'm waiting for those answers. When I engage with labor, management has given me what they think are the answers. We and the board have listened. We will come back, and labor is agreed. When I come back, they will tell me, Ramkhopa Sputa, here are the issues. And this is how we think, if we were you, to resolve them. So that together we can pull this and restore power to our people and lift the economy of this country, ensure that we save and protect jobs and make it possible to grow the economy, to create more jobs, fight poverty and hunger, and farmers can produce, industries can open, doctors can perform surgery, students can learn, learners can have access to, if you like, the internet and do their research, and we restore normalcy in this country. As I conclude, one of the most embarrassing things over the weekend, that for 3 days we didn't have load shedding. And I meet someone and say, Ara, Sputa, so I'm just saying, of course, that was tongue-in-cheek on a lighter note. Someone was saying, but Sputa, man, we've got so much energy because we didn't have load shedding for those 3 days because of, if you like, the improvement in the 6 power stations and also the reduction in demand, and then we were able to stabilize the grid, and that's why we didn't have load shedding. It had nothing to do with people marching, but it has everything. Yeah, this is a science. And you don't just switch on and switch off. This is a science. You can say that if you don't understand the science of engineering. Otherwise, you can go and switch on those units. But it doesn't work that way. There's a science behind this. So the point I'm making, we can't be humiliated every day. We can't be a butt of jokes every day. Of course, now I don't have a problem. I'm a politician, I'm an activist. Even if they call me names, Minister of Loadshedding, you are idiots, you are useless, it's fine. We will protect and defend you. But we want to make it possible that we create conditions for you to deliver and lift the energy availability factor from 25 go 50. I was saying to them, Pella, if you use the metaphor of football, I know a lot of you will be very angry now. So if you use the metaphor of football, it's like we are in the relegation zone. You know about DSTV Premier League? They relegate these two. So there is Kusile and Tutu. Let's behave like Mamelodi Sundowns. Well, I can't mention those two teams from Soweto because they're not helping us. But this one. No, you know why I'm saying that? If Sundowns wins the DSTV Premier League, and we know it's going to win with 5 games left, we are not going to celebrate because we are used to it. It's like you have electricity and the lights are not going off. You can't go to the street and celebrate. I'm used to it. But when you move from number 16, number 15, you go to number 12, you go to number 8, and ultimately you go to number 1, you are going to celebrate all the time. So we're pleading with you. Let's work together to resolve this problem. But thank you very much. May God bless you. Amanda.